Soy chicken. Hey guys, how's it going? So this morning we are moving these little guys here out to the barn with the 8 I moved the other day for the out to the barn brooder. They're fully feathered now, and with the heat lamps and the large amount of chickens, they'll do fine out there, and it'll start getting them ready for the outside world. So we're just gonna get these guys moved today. Get in there.
All right, little guy, you're gonna be fine. Graduating.
Yeah. Y'all are moving on up.
Well, we're moving on up to the east side.
What? Oh, you guys are silly. That's okay, I got it. Oh, maybe not. Silly chickens. Boy, I'll tell you what. Oh, you are not dying. Okay.
All right.
Little velociraptors.
Clever girl.
The Brahma babies. All right, how you doing, guys? Very well behaved baby, huh?
Glad you got the easy one. There you go, guys.
Is that it?
Yep, that's
All
everybody.
right. All right, so here's all of our new Brahma chicks over in their new brooder. The brooder is about, what is it, honey? About 5 feet by 15 feet,
Probably, yeah.
somewhere in there. And I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I count 31.
Yep, that's it.
31 Brahma chicks.
8 plus the 23 they replaced.
Yep. They're all obviously hungry and happy and on their way to becoming bigger birds, but so quick. These guys are only, what, 3 weeks old?
3 weeks old? Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Well, the bigger ones, the first batch were like a week ahead. So they're a month, and then, so yeah, the other ones are 3 weeks.
Yeah. But they're moving right along.
So as you can see, we've got a very barren wasteland of pasture area that we just, inherited this way, and it's never been farmed, very rarely pastured with anything more than 1 horse. And you can see the layout. As you can see with the little red line that's going to show up here, our biggest challenge at our farm is this, mini ravine, gulch, river area you can see as it extends all the way through our property. So there's nothing like having your own fresh, clean palette to work from, right? So this is pretty nice. So keeping that little ravine in mind, we're going to have to try to make the best use of what we've got. So in this following little piece here, you'll see how we're going to divide this into triangles and why we're calling the very first triangle the triangle paddock. So we're going to make triangles so that we can follow the contour of the land and be able to create as much usable paddock space as we possibly can. So you can see how this is all going to kind of lay out. Triangles. I suppose you could do some squares, but you're going to still miss out on some land, so we're going to want to do that. And then we have another one out here towards the south, which is, that's the direction, you couldn't tell, but anyway, there'll be another one out to the south out here. As you can see, we're drawing that in, following the contour of that little creaky area, ravine. I just keep calling it a ravine. And then we'll split that first paddock into half and make 2 triangles out of that and get that planted for our pigs. And here's what we're going to plant into our new pasture. Smooth brome grass, forage perennial ryegrass, Paiute orchard grass, pubescent wheatgrass, intermediate wheatgrass, triticale, which is a wheat and rye hybrid, and not to mention yellow field peas. Alright, so here's what things look like a little bit more from the ground level. This is the triangle paddock that we had outlined on the aerial view. The plowed in, I actually tilled in the area that you can see. It's darker, of course. And that's where we're going to plant 3 sisters, corn, beans, squash, and probably some extra squash in there for all of our pigs. So it seemed logical to me to plant some stuff right next to the pigs that we're going to feed to the pigs. This gives them additional items for their diet, helps us stretch our feed bill some. You can see where the pigs were last year. Is right there where that little patch of green was, and we'll move right along. So as part of the getting to know us a little bit more video, yeah, we did realize that we just really hadn't talked much about ourselves, and you know, sometimes people want to know a little bit about you, and then they care a little bit more, maybe, or I don't know, just like you care about like a character on like a TV show. Anyway, I'm Paul, and I grew up in Northeast Colorado in a town called Sterling. You can look it up. It's about I don't know. I think when I was growing up, it was about 9,000, 10,000 people, somewhere in there. Grew up there, had a, you know, pretty good childhood for the most part, I would have to say. It was kind of a leave it to beaver type thing. You know, you could run around and do whatever you wanted and be a kid and come home when the street lights turned off and have dinner and things like that. You know, it was, you didn't have any fear of anything really. So I thought it was a really good childhood. You know, and then, but small towns are small towns, and you quickly realize that if you really want to do anything with your life, you might have to leave. So I did, and I joined the Army. Became a radio guy, right? If you had a little set of green Army men, I would be the guy with the little radio backpack.
Sergeant, establish a recon post downstairs. Code red.
So I joined the Army and left Sterling and did 8 years in the Army. Kind of towards the tail end, though, computers were starting to become a bigger and bigger thing. This was about, I suppose 94 or 95, somewhere in that neighborhood. And since computers were becoming a big thing, I was deployed to Bosnia, and we had a little camp that was just over the Hungarian border, and I ended up becoming a computer guy, but also like the infrastructure guy kind of in a way, right? And I had to run a lot of cables, and we hooked up this entire camp and got the internet running on it. And, you know, in 95, 96, having the internet, I mean, it was slow, but even having it out in the middle of nowhere was pretty impressive. So, I don't know. I guess that got me into the computer world. Then I spent, 8 years in there. And then ever since then, I got out at 8 years and didn't re-enlist. I thought it was probably better to be able to raise my daughter outside of the military so I could spend time with her. Dads that are usually in the Army, they've just gone a lot. And I didn't want her to be in that scenario, right, where dad was always gone. So I got out, and my daughter and I moved back to Colorado, and I got a job at a fantastic place. Really gave me a break, although now I think about it, the pay was pretty low. I think I made $30,000 at my first corporate IT job a year, and this would have been in 99. So, you know, but they gave me a break and let me do it because I didn't really have a whole lot of qualifications other than some military style IT things, which is a little different than corporate IT, you know, as you quickly find out. But I enjoyed the work, and I don't know, I think I adapted pretty quick depending on what's going on, you know. Some days are a little more, some days are a little bit less, but you have to give equal measure of yourself to both jobs. So that means getting up really early, going out and feeding the animals, then coming back in, doing your day job, then maybe going back out, working on projects. You know, that's just how it's done. You do have to work pretty hard, but you know, no one ever said that if you wanted to realize your dreams, it was going to be really easy, right? So, you know, we're trying it out. We're doing a good job. Considering we're on year 2. For the farm, it's really going to be the start of year 2. We've been here for 2 years, but that first year we didn't really do much. We didn't really even put in a garden. We were just on the, you know, summer had come, and we had just been in the house for, I don't know, a month or 2. So you know how it is when you move. You gotta spend some time getting the house straight before you can really go on with everything else. And we were still taking care of animals and the whole bit, right? So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about me. We'll chat more about me, I suppose, later, but that's a pretty good start. You know, if you have questions about anything, you know, just put them in the comments and I'll respond back to you. But yep, that's a little bit for me. On to the next thing.